the top 5 games for the PlayStation 3 you really need to download before the store goes away forever. In number 1 is my pick, and that is the Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection.
This is fantastic.
Tell us about it, Floppy.
So this is it is the first 2 original Metal Gear games.
I can tell you exactly what's in here. There's Metal Gear for the MSX 1987, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, then there's Metal Gear Solid VR missions, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriot, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Now, if you had Metal Gear Solid 5 and 0 missions, you've got the whole story. And if you want to play it in order, I'll tell you now. No, we won't go into that.
You know, I knew all that off the top of my head.
Did you?
Yeah, I've got that thing. I've got this physically as well.
Oh, I still need to get it. Needs to be in my Kojima. Man.
That is a top one. I mean, because although a lot of these you still can get physically, they are so hard to find now that if you don't get them digitally, it might be such a long time before you find them, if ever.
Yep. And the prices are just going up and up and up. Because
ridiculous.
Obviously there's not going to be any more decent Metal Gear games. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, Kojima's gone to Xbox now. So.
That's right. You heard it here first. Kojima and Xbox are making Metal Gear Solid X, the solidest snake.
But it's an online multiplayer in the vein of Tetris 99.
That was such a good comment when it came out. Anyway, Kojima's great. Metal Gear's awesome. Okay, who wants to go next? PlayStation 3 games that you need to buy before the store goes away forever.
I'll go with Resident Evil Chronicles, the HD collection. So these were originally Wii games. They were used with the Wii remote. They got ported over to PS3 and got given the Move controller support, which was heaps better than the Wii pointer. Mm-hmm. So they essentially got turned into light gun games for Resident Evil Chronicles and Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles, Dark Side Chronicles and Umbrella Chronicles. These are so much fun, and especially as a Move controller game, they work really well because it's Resident Evil, it's scary, you're shooting monsters.
Were they as good on the Wii as well with the actual gun peripheral?
I don't think the Wii ones were quite as precise as the Move controller.
Okay.
The Move controller, I feel like, is a little bit better tech, a little bit higher tech than the Wii remotes, as well as the Wii remotes work. Like
Wesker tells his story. Did you play as Wesker?
I can't actually remember now. I played these originally on the Wii. I don't think I ever finished them, but then played them again on the PS3. They're so good fun, so much fun.
Cool.
And if you have a Move controller, if you don't, go out and get one. There's heaps of them around.
Yeah, they're
secondhand.
really cheap.
They're really cheap.
They're not cheap at all.
They are heaps cheap.
Really?
Yeah.
I bought a whole heap before the PlayStation VR came out because I knew that
but where'd you
PlayStation
buy them
VR
from?
needed them. I got them from secondhand stores for like $7.
Okay, that's really cheap.
Yeah. See, that to me is cheap. Not your $40 a controller cheap. That's ridiculous.
That's normal price.
That's ridiculous. Don't buy them.
They're $120 new for a pair.
That's ridiculous.
Always have been though.
Glad that we're getting rid of them.
Yeah.
All right, who's next? Braden.
Yeah, I jumped in with a couple things here. A couple things that I really loved on PS3. I had a realization when I was doing this as well. I was like, man, yeah, what were some of the best PS3 games? And then I was like,
Metal Gear.
You can just get all of them. Like, most of them you can still just play on your PS4, or like there's HD upgrades. They just ported them over in little collections. So much is still available, so it was really difficult for me to try and find something.
Got to admit, in our Discord where we planned the show, I put a list up that someone had collated. I forgot who did it now, of the exclusive games on the stores. And I went, oh, okay, this would be good. And I scrolled through it and just went, this is all junk.
Yeah,
it's all rubbish.
Because all the good stuff has just been ported, so it's like you can play it anywhere. One thing that jumped to mind for me was a game that I really liked that wasn't incredibly well received by the wider community, which was Batman Arkham Origins.
So why wasn't this well received?
It was a prequel. It wasn't done by Rocksteady, and people got really antsy about it.
It was done by the Montreal team, and it was a lot shorter.
It was a smaller game. I loved it. It was like an earlier story. It's basically an origin story for Batman v Joker in the Arkham games. Like, yeah, I really loved it. But since that probably isn't available anywhere, I have a better option for you, which is actually...
Can you buy it in the store?
My favorite thing ever. I have no idea, because you should just go and play Ratchet & Clank, the HD collection. Because, my God, it's so good. That first one, a little rough, but Ratchet & Clank 3 is one of the best games of all time. Don't at me.
I don't think I've played that before.
Dude, it's so good. I love it so much. It's my entire childhood wrapped up into one game. I have platinumed it on every version of it that's available with trophies.
Can you now like just go through the game and get the platinum like linearly?
Probably at this rate, like I.
That
freaking
should be a
love
stream.
this game.
Braden sits down and gets platinum in linear chronological order.
Yeah, just has to do it that way. Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's so
I'd watch
good.
that.
I'd watch that.
But yeah, and then my next one for it, because I just filled out the rest of the list because
I'm totally with you with your last one, 100%.
yeah,
And I'm useless.
this one I feel like the people who played it probably like would agree. You see, I remember loving it, but then I sort of started thinking, I was like, I don't actually remember much about this game, but I remember loving Battlefield Bad Company 2. It was more like it actually had like a proper full-on campaign with a full like cast of characters and everything. I remember it being really good. I honestly can't tell you much more about that, but it was a really good Battlefield game. So yeah, and then this last one. What was this last one? Oh yes, this one.
Oh, dude, these are so good.
Oh, the best of the best over on the PS3. Oh my lord, it's the one and only Infamous franchise. Infamous 1 and 2 on the PS3. So good. Oh my god. Floppy jump in as well.
Oh, dude, this is the first time I really got into the whole moral choices.
So this is the game where you got superpowers and you can be either good or bad, yeah?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You can be a dick or you can be a cool guy, and your power tree, your skill tree sort of goes one way or the other depending on how you use your powers.
Right.
Whether it be more destructive or sort of more, what's the word?
Helpful.
Helpful. But for you, like you might get more powers to be able to scoot along power lines or things like that, or things that'll help you traverse things easier, or things that'll just be more destructive based on how you choose to use your powers. This is really cool.
Yeah, I absolutely loved the first Infamous. It has a very like strong like comic book art style. Like all of its cutscenes are basically comic book art style. And then everything they added in Infamous 2, I personally really loved.
Wow, that's quite a upgrade graphically from 1
yeah,
to 2.
dude.
Oh,
Infamous
huge.
1 to Infamous 2 is huge. They really found their way with the PS3 architecture.
Did you go good side or bad side?
I always did good first, because then when you do the second one to try and platinum the game, you find that every time you play evil after you've played good, it's way easier. Because evil's just so much more strong and powerful, and it's so much easier just to blast through the whole game. But yeah, Infamous was amazing.
Yep, everyone needs to play Infamous. And then once you played 1 and 2, go and get Second Son and go and get First Light.
Hell yeah.
Just
Same
play them
company?
all.
Just play every
Yep, just
single
play
one.
all of them.
There was also a Festival of Blood, the vampire DLC for Infamous 2. It was actually really fun.
Now that's only available digitally, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
So
only so do get that.
do get that, because you will miss out otherwise. And it's hilarious to run around as Infamous, but with vampires.
Yeah, it's like Infamous True Blood.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it is.
You didn't go with Buffy?
No, I went with True Blood.
Okay, that's fair.
Ben's offended.
Not really.
Ben's always offended.
No, Ben's always
PSP.
so tired.